Welcome. Today we have a 60-minute gentle yoga class. I'm Lori Kearney, and we're going to be focusing on opening up the hips today. So we're going to start into a child's pose. So come to your mat and put your knees towards the outside of your mat, as wide as your knees can go. If you have a towel or a blanket, you can put it underneath you to assist, or a block. And then just walk your hands up forward. The yoga class I teach it silent so everybody can hear better. So if you would like to play some soothing music in your own background, feel free to do that now. Your head can be on the mat. If it doesn't go on the mat, you can do 2 fists. Put your head onto your fist or to a block. And just settle in here. Maybe wiggle your hips just a little bit back and forth, trying to sink your hips down further towards your toes. And every inhale, bring your hands closer towards the top of your mat. And then every exhale, see how you can get your chest down farther to your mat. You start focusing in on your breath, feeling how does the breath feel within you today? We're going to unite our breaths and do some breath of fire to let go of any negative energy, anxiety, some things that might be stuck with us right now. So together, exhale the air out from your lungs. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more times just like that. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Last time, inhale. And just let it all go. Nice sigh here. And now Ujjayi breath. Seal the mouth. And if it feels good in your body, breathe in and out through the nose. Let this breath be your focus for class today. And now start to walk your hands over towards the left side. One hand on top of each other or side by side. Keep the right hip down. It's going to want to come up, and send your breath over towards your right side body as you reach that right arm over towards the left side. And every exhale, maybe you sink just a little bit further down with that right arm. And now walking the hands over to the right side. So just nice and slow here. Again, left hand can be right next to the right hand, or maybe it goes on top. Keep your left hip grounded as you breathe through the left side body, stretching out through the arm, the left side body, the left hip. And now coming back to center again, nice and slow here. Inhale, coming up to a tabletop pose. Bring your left leg out onto the mat, toes are on the mat, and make some range of motion here with your toes and your ankle coming into some circles. One direction, then the other direction. Now listen here, this is a new pose that we're going to be doing. Bring the left leg up. This is familiar. The foot is going towards the back of the wall. Left hip is down. If it feels good here, bend that left leg. So then now the foot is facing towards the ceiling. We're going to pulse it 5 times, going up and then down. Just slight pulses. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Straighten that leg, bring it back down to the mat. Again, just push it around. Feel some movement in the body here. Now coming onto the other side, right toes onto the ground. And just moving it around, warming up our body here, circling the ankle, the toes, getting some stretch in the calf muscle. And now bring your right leg up hip distance. So you might need to bring the right hip down. flex the foot. You can stay here, engage the core. If it feels good, bend the knee so the sole of the foot is towards the ceiling. We're going to do 5 little pulses here. Inhale, putting the leg up, and then exhale down. This is just a couple inches. Bring it up and down. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees down to the ground, preparing for cat and cow. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale for cat. Push your mat away from you. Bring your gaze towards your belly button. Inhale for cow pose. Belly dips down, chest comes up, shoulder blades together. 2 more sets just like this. Exhale for cat pose. Make this as big as you can. Push your feet and the hands into your mat. Inhale for cow pose. Belly dips down, chest comes up. Last time, making this as big as you can as you round your spine, bringing your gaze towards the belly button. And inhale for cow pose as you lift your bottom up and your chest up. Coming back to neutral spine, lateral cat and cow. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder to look at the left foot. And back to center. Over to the right side, looking over your right shoulder towards your right foot. Back to center. 2 more sets here. Gaze towards that left toe. And center. Now the right toes. And center. Continue to go here. 1 more set. Engage your core as you do these lateral movements here. We're making like a big C shape. And then coming back to center here. We're now warmed up for some cat-cow circles, or they're also known as jump ropes. So you can do whatever movement feels good to you here. If you first of all just want to just move your hips one direction, the other, that is great. I will guide cat-cow circles. So exhale, coming up for cat pose. Bring your body to the left. I invite you to close your eyes here. Inhale as you come down for cow and come up and around, going 3 circles to the left. But again, we're warming up our spine. We're also moving our hips. So see what feels good to you organically. Maybe you want to move your body in a different way. This is your class. When you've done 3 ways, the left side, just going 3 circles towards the right. And when we close our eyes, it helps us to tune into our body more, to say, okay, what is it telling me? Where do I need to stretch more? Where do I need to be more compassionate? What's going on with my body? Am I holding stress anywhere? Just coming into one last movement wherever you are. And coming into just that nice tabletop pose where the hands are directly underneath the shoulders and the knees are directly underneath the knees are underneath the hips. So engage the core. Now bring the left hand out forward. Bring that belly button out towards the spine. You can stay right here. Or we're going to do 5 taps the hand onto the shoulder. So the left fingers are going towards your left shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hand down. Maybe you want to just wiggle out the wrist a little bit one direction and the other direction. And now bring the right hand out in front of you. Again, option to stay right here. If you would like a variation, bring your right fingertips towards your right shoulder. 1, 2, 3, coming back down, 2, and 1. And again, make a fist and just rotate it one direction and the other direction. We're going to be coming in to thread the needle next. So take your left hand and bring it up towards the sky. Make a fist or just move your wrist one direction and the other direction, whatever feels good to you here. And now maybe you want to take some big circles, maybe 2 times going forward and then 2 times going backwards. And listen here, we're going to do this first time a little bit different. Inhale that left hand up. And now we're going to just take and do a little crunch. So the left hand is going underneath the body, but we're not putting it to the ground. We're just reaching it underneath the body. Inhale, left hand is up. Now we're going to come in to thread the needle. The left arm, left shoulder's on the ground, left ear is on the ground. The right hand can stay on the ground, or maybe you want to tent the right hand up towards the sky. Maybe you want to interlace the hands together and push your hands away from your body. Or maybe your right hand goes all the way around onto your back, maybe even reaching your left foot, or left thigh rather. Wherever you are, as you inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, release more into a deeper twist. One more breath here. And exhale, release. And then if you have your right hand in the bind, just bring it back onto the mat. Inhale that left hand up high. And exhale, lowering it back down. Coming onto the other side now, right hand goes nice and high up. And make a fist or do whatever feels good with your wrist, moving it one direction, the other direction. And now 2 times, maybe going forward. And a few times going backwards. Then as you reach the right hand up nice and high, we're just going to take that hand underneath the body, not touching the ground, and just reaching on the other side for a nice little core crunch. Inhale, right hand up. And then exhale, thread the needle. Bring your right ear onto the ground. Again, you have lots of variations here. You can take that left hand and tent it. All of these do something a little bit different, so see what feels best for you. I like to grab my hands together and push them away from my body. It's important to focus the breath on when we inhale, we're lengthening through the crown of the head. And when we're exhaling, we're twisting a little bit more. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale and twist. And now bring your left hand back to the mat for support as you bring the right hand up. And exhale, lowering it back down. Now just curl your toes under here. We're going to prepare for our first down dog. So before we go up, just look at your hands. The fingers are spread nice and wide. And we're going to press more into the L's of both hands. So the thumb and the index finger and that padding in between. And now as we lift the knees up, we do not need to straighten those legs. We're pushing with those hands, lifting our hips up towards the sky, navel towards the spine as well. And gaze goes towards the back of the room or to your knees. And just start paddling out the feet here. So a nice deep bend in the left leg, then nice deep bend in the right leg. And just take your time here. No rush. The heels don't need to be on the ground. We're just guiding them that way. And now look at the top of the mat by your hands. And again, with a nice deep bend in the knees, just walk your feet up to ragdoll pose. So the feet are hip distance apart. And actually, they're a little bit more than hip distance. You can put 2 fists between your feet, and there's lots of space here. And bend your knees. You can come in to grip your elbows here and sway side to side. Or your hands can hang heavy. You can hang on to a block. And just let it go here. There's nothing going on with the head or the neck. So you can shake your head yes and no, and just feel your body lengthening through the spine here. And now switch your hands so you have the opposite grip and just go in the opposite sway here. And lowering the hands down towards your feet. Slow coming up for a count of 6. Bend to the knees, coming up for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So coming into our first mountain pose, feet are about hip distance apart. Hands are by your side. Fix my shirt here. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Again, we're grounding down with both feet, lifting up in the kneecaps. Pelvic is turned under. Engage the core, Uddiyana Bandha. Chest is up nice and high, and then gaze is up towards the ceiling. Inhale the shoulders up. Squeeze them into your shoulders or towards your head. Then exhale, roll them back down. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, roll them up. And exhale, roll them back. Last time, inhale up. And exhale back. Bring your hands up as you inhale for mountain pose. Hands are up nice and high. And now coming into a side bend. The right hand goes onto your right leg. Left hand reaches up. Then as you exhale, hinge over towards the right side. Energetically press that left foot into the mat even more. Breathe through that left side body. Inhale to mountain pose. And then exhale, left hand down to your leg. Right hand reaches up on the inhale. And then on the next exhale, lean over towards the left side. Feeling the right foot planted firmly down. Feeling that nice stretch. Inhale, both hands up nice and high. And now baby back bend, cactus the arms. Gaze goes up. And inhale, mountain pose. Bring your palms together and hinge forward to forward fold. Nice deep bend in the knees here. Inhale, halfway lift. Now listen here, we're gonna do a halfway lift with airplane arms. This is different. So the hands are out to the side. If this doesn't feel comfortable to you, bring the hands back down to the legs. So the chest is up nice and proud here, belly button brought in towards the spine. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna do one more, Sunny, just like this. Roll the spine up nice and slow. Coming up to stand, a little bit faster here. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over as you exhale. Inhale up. Exhale towards the left. Inhale up. Exhale, baby back bend, cactus your arms, chest goes up, hips go forward. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold, hands to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane arms, belly button is engaged here towards the spine. Exhale, listen here. Bring your hands to the mat and the left leg is gonna go back to a low lunge. You may wanna use your hand to reach the right leg forward more. And we have our feet in 2 different lanes here. So just go back and forth a little bit. See where it feels good. Always an option to use blocks or books or anything on the side here. And then bring the left knee down to the ground, coming into crescent moon. So inhale, the hands can be on your lap, or if it feels good, they can come up overhead. Yes, beautiful. Yes, good job. Gaze is forward. We're just having a nice engagement of the core here. Now bring the right hand down to your side. Left hand goes up and over. Nice stretch with the balance. Inhale, mountain arms here. Exhale, coming back into low lunge hands, working into a runner's lunge, meaning both hands are on the left side. The right foot is going to heel toe out to the side. Your hands can be on a block or on the mat, or if you feel a lot of flexibility, your forearms can go down to the mat. Your back knee can be up off the ground or it can be on the ground. So see what feels good. So runner's lunge, just move around here a little bit. The front knee is over that front ankle. But you can go side to side a little bit. See what feels good. We're working on the hips here today. And just one more breath here. And if you're on your forearms, coming back up to your hands, we're going to come into a twist. So the left hand stays grounded on your mat or on a block, and the right hand goes up towards the sky. So nice and slow here. Just continuing to breathe. Exhale, bring the hand down. Coming into tabletop pose, swing the right leg around. And now coming into down dog, flex your toes and come into our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And pad the feet out again, walking the dog. Bring your gaze towards the top of your mat, towards your fingers. Nice and slow, walk your feet up towards the hands, hip distance, and roll up nice and slow as you come up to stand. Inhale, mountain pose. Listen here. Bring your palms together. Exhale to heart center. Interlace the fingers, elbows come up. Exhale, push your hands away from you. Round your spine, palms towards me. Inhale, gaze and hands go up. And exhale, bring the hands behind you. Now, if it doesn't feel good to have your hands behind you, that's okay. But if they can interlace behind you, have them interlace behind you. Gaze goes up, shoulder blades together. If it feels comfortable, forward fold with the clasp. Otherwise, let go of the clasp behind you. Maybe the hands go up and over. When this doesn't feel good anymore, just release them down to the mat. And now everybody release your hands down to the mat, coming onto the other side. Bring your right leg back behind you. Again, we're coming into low lunge. So you may need to move your left leg around so it is up towards the top of your mat. We have our feet in two different lanes like cross-country skis, and you can move around here a little bit, preparing for crescent moon. So bring the right knee onto the mat, and then you can work your way up, having your hands onto your left thigh. You can stay right here, or if you would like a little bit more, bring the hands up overhead for mountain arms. Engage the core here. We're not just kneeling here doing nothing. And now bring the left hand down to your side, right hand up and over for a side twist or side bend. Inhale, mountain hands. Exhale, coming back with hands for the low lunge, working ourselves into that runner's lunge. So the left toes are going to just heel toe over towards the left corner a little bit more. So both hands are on the right side. That back knee can be up or it can be down. Hands can be on the mat. If you have blocks or books, I highly recommend using them, putting your forearms maybe on blocks. And make some movement here, find stillness, whatever feels good to you. Runner's lunge is a pose that is supposed to feel good. And we've had a lot of stress and anxiety in our environment. And we tend to carry that stress in our hips, in our shoulders. And so it's good to physically work on that, the removal of that physical stress in our body. And now inhale up to your hands, preparing for the twist. So the right hand stays grounded, left hand comes up. No rush here. If it feels good, the gaze can go over towards that left hand. Continue to breathe here. And bring the left hand down, coming into tabletop pose. So swinging the left leg around, coming into our down dog again. So curling the toes under, pushing the hips up, and just walking the dog here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, look at the top of the mat. Send the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Airplane arms if you choose. Exhale, forward fold. Slow roll, coming all the way up to stand. Coming into the circle of joy again. Inhale, hands up. Bring your palms together and exhale to heart center. Interlace fingers together and exhale, push your shoulder blades apart, hands go forward. Inhale, hands are up, gaze goes up. And exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Maybe they interlace, shoulder blades together. Listen to your body to see what feels good to you. Now, as you bend your knees, we're going to fold forward. Maybe your hands stay interlaced and they go overhead. Just one more breath here, and we're going to release it all down. And release the hands down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, coming into a plank pose or modified plank pose. So plank pose, the feet are back behind you. Modified, the knees are on the ground. The shirt's not a good one for teaching yoga, but I'm going to make it work. So this is different than tabletop. Tabletop, the hands are underneath. The shoulders, this way we're going out a little bit further. Hips are coming forward now. So we're coming into a modified plank push-up. So this first time we're going to lower all the way down to the ground. Elbows towards the back of the room. Preparing for our first cobra pose. So flip the toes. So if you had shoes on with shoelaces, they'd be into your mat. Hands are underneath your shoulders, and inhale, lift up your shoulders. Exhale, lowering down. Just one more time here. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lowering down. Coming back up into a tabletop pose here. Curl the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Coming into plank pose or modified plank. I think we all probably want to do modified plank, knees on the ground. Now we're coming into a high-low push-up with the knees on the ground. So elbows bent towards the back of the room. Slowly come down halfway. Inhale to either cobra or up dog. Flip the toes. Shoulder blades are open. Gaze is up. Exhale, coming into child's pose. And this can be like a thunderbolt. The knees don't need to be very wide. Just take a breath here. Inhale and exhale. A couple more times just like that. Inhale up. Bring the shoulders over the fingers. Hips are over the mat, lowering down halfway. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Up dog, the knees are off the ground. And exhale, push to child's pose. Last time here. Inhale, coming forward. Modified plank push-up, lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, child's pose. And just breathe here. Maybe your knees come out a little bit further. And just notice, how do your hips feel from when we started class? Maybe sway side to side just a little bit. Connect back with your breath. And now inhale, coming into tabletop pose. Curl your toes, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Look at the top of the mat. Walk the feet forward to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, option for airplane arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Listen here, we're going to come into star pose. So bring the feet out to the sides, toes are out, heels are in. You can keep your hands on your waist, or you can bring your hands up. Beautiful. Nice, strong bodies here. We're going to do 3 transitions into horse pose. So exhale, bring your hands to heart center and bend the knees. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse. Maybe each time go a little bit lower. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse. Hold here. So just go side to side a little bit here. If it feels good, bring your hands onto your thighs. Inhale to lengthen. Then exhale, bring your left shoulder forward for a twist. Inhale, forward. Exhale, right shoulder down. Inhale, star pose, hands come up. Coming into wide-legged forward fold. So bring the feet parallel with each other. Hands can be either out to a T or on your waist. And we're gonna forward fold here. So your hands can go on a block, on the ground, or maybe onto your legs. And just hanging nice and heavy here. Just breathing. Bring most of your weight onto the ball mounts of your feet. Engage the quads and the hamstrings. And just you have some time to play around here. So if you want, maybe walk your hands over towards the left thigh. Maybe walk your hands over to the right thigh. And then just bring your hands back to the middle. And bring your hands onto your waist. Engage your core to stand up. We're going to be coming into warrior two. So just bring your legs out wider for the stance. The right leg is forward, left leg is back. And the left foot is like parallel or a little bit up towards the left-hand corner. Hands out to a T. Gaze is up over that right middle hand. Right middle finger rather. And then square your chest up towards the side. Coming into extended side angle, bring the right hand forward and the right forearm onto the right leg. Left hand up and over, stretching through that left side body. Getting that nice stretch all the way through the side, through the hips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right hand goes up, left leg or left hand down. Recommit to the bend. Inhale, star pose. Toes out, heels in. Now we're going to do warrior two the other direction now. So the left toes are facing towards the front. You're looking at your left hand. Engage the core for all the warrior poses. Preparing for extended side angle. Bring the left hand forward. Left forearm to your left leg. Right hand up and over. Stretching through that side body. And then inhale, left hand up, right hand back. Stretching through the left side body here. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips and bring the legs in. We're just going to do a little balance for tree to ground. So bring all of your weight into your left leg. You can kickstand the right toes on a block, on the mat, on your shin, on your calf, or all the way up. If you would like, you can play around with the hands to bring the heart center. Always option with balance poses to be against a wall or a chair. Engage the core here. Maybe you play around with the hands. Maybe you're a big tree, a tall tree. Is it a windy day or a calm day? And bring your hands to heart center wherever you are. Your right knee goes forward. Option to straighten that right leg and then step 1 foot forward. Coming down to the other side, grounding down with the right foot. So the left toes are on the mat or on a block. So we're opening up the hips here. So the left knee is going out as far as it can. And you can have your foot on the ankle, your shin, or all the way up, whatever feels good to you. And just guide that knee out. We start with the hands either at the waist, the heart center. Once you find that drishti, something to stare at, and you feel steady, then play around with the hands. What kind of tree do you want to be today? And what's the weather like in your forest? And when you're done playing, just bring the palms together and then exhale them to heart center. The left knee goes forward. Option to straighten the left leg and then bring it down to meet the right. We're going to come down onto the mat now. Inhale up. Exhale forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And bring your knees in. This is called crunch and curl. So we're just making like a nice little ball here, having the toes crunched up. And now coming down to one hip or the other. So the next thing we're going to do is either pigeon pose or supine pigeon pose. So if you want to do the supine one, you're going to be on your back. I'm going to guide you the other one first. So you bring the right leg forward, hands are to your sides, and the left leg goes long behind you. And if this doesn't feel good in your knee, then do not do this pose. The right foot is flexed to protect the knee. And you first come in and you just sit or you stand nice and tall in your upper body. And maybe you even wiggle your back foot just to see if you have it even with both hips. If it feels good for you, maybe you walk your hands out. And this is where it's nice if you have a blanket in front of you or a block in front of you that you can put your head down on something. But you can also take your fists and go one on top of the other and put your head on the fist and just see what feels good in your body. If this doesn't feel good in your body, come onto your back, bend both your knees, and then bring your right ankle towards your left thigh, bring your left leg up, and then your hands go underneath the left leg. So this is also pigeon pose, but it's a little bit more accessible when it's on your back. And wherever you are, just start to focus on your breath. In pigeon pose, it's pose that you can hear your breath. It's also a pose to let go, letting go of what doesn't serve us anymore that we may be hanging on to. And just one more breath here. And for those of you on your back, just bring both feet down to the ground and switching over so the left ankle is on the right thigh and playing around here if you want your leg up, putting your hands, interlacing them around the right leg. For those of you that are in traditional pigeon pose, you're going to want to come up and then swing the right leg back. So we're in like a tabletop or a plank pose, anything like that. And then the left leg goes forward. You're going to need to use your hand to bring probably the foot up. So just see what feels good. We want to sit right on top of our hips here. And just standing up straight with that upper body before we come down. And then again, if it feels good, maybe you walk yourself out. Maybe you're on your elbows, maybe on two fists for your head. Beautiful job, everybody. Nice variations. Whenever I see variations and people are doing it, I'm like, ah, they're listening to their body. Yes, it's exactly what yoga is about. I'm guiding you on ideas, but this is all about you. It has nothing to do with me. It's about listening to the body and saying, okay, where can I feel just a little bit uncomfortable to help guide me here? And just send your breath towards that hip, releasing even more. And for those of you in pigeon on your knee, start to come up, but this time bring your right leg forward. And for those of you on your back, swing forward to come up to your bottom. The right leg is out long, the left knee is bent. And the right leg can be out to the side or forward, whatever feels good to you here. We're going to square off our bodies over the right leg. Inhale the hands up. And then exhale, fold over that right leg. Maybe your hands go on a block, blanket. It's really nice to have a blanket and just to hold your face over that leg. Just continue to breathe and just notice with each breath how you can go down a little bit further with each exhale. And then as you inhale, next come up. Coming into an intense side stretch. The right hand is going to be on the leg or a block in front of your leg or a blanket. The left hand comes up and over, stretching through the left side body all the way down through that left hip. So keep that left hip grounded. We're just here for 3, release in 2, and 1. Bring your left hand behind you. We're going to have that option to lift the hips. So this first time, bring the right hand towards your your right hand on your right side, and then bring the hand in front of you. Gaze goes up as we arch the back. And then exhale, bring the hand in front of you. It's a meditative look. This time, if it feels good, we're going to lift the hips. Any amount that feels good in your body. Inhale, lift your hips up. Gaze may go towards the back of your room. And exhale, lowering down. One more time here. Inhale up. Maybe go a little bit higher each time, stretching through the hips here and the chest, the entire body, and then lowering back down. Now switching out the legs. So now just bending the right leg and then straightening out the left leg. Squaring your body over the left leg. Inhaling the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Your hands can be on blocks, on the mat, on your leg. Every exhale, to see how you can surrender just a little bit more into the stretch. One more breath. And coming back up. Preparing for that intense side stretch. So bring that left forearm to your leg, to a block, anywhere that feels good for you. Right hand up and over. And then reach over the right hand towards the left feet, the left foot. And how can you open up that right shoulder a little bit more? Keeping the right hip grounded. We're here for 3. Release in 2 and 1. Bring your right hand back behind you. Coming into that meditative look. Bring the left hand towards your left side and then gaze as you bring it in front of you. And then reach up and arch your back. Exhale, lowering down. Bringing the left hand in front of you. This time, option lifting the hips if it feels good. Maybe your hips go up high towards the ceiling and you arch your back. And then lowering down. And wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. And one last time, inhale up. So often we compete with other people. But really the only person we're ever in competition with is ourselves on our own goals. And now bring both legs in front of you. They can be bent or straight. We're going to come all the way down to the mat. So just nice and slow. Coming into happy baby pose. So bring your knees up over your hips. The feet can go up towards the ceiling and your hands go inside your legs, your shins, or maybe they even reach the sole of your foot. And you have to put a smile on your face or else you're a sad baby. We don't want to be a sad baby. And just rock side to side here. And if you like, you can straighten one leg and the other. Our hamstrings are stretched. Our hips have been worked. Now we're going to come into legs up the wall. So just bring your legs up, almost like we're trying to stand on the ceiling. And your hands can be underneath your hips or onto your side. And just breathe here. Just find where there's a space that feels a little bit easier for legs up the wall. We're just here for 3, coming into bridge in 2 and 1. Bend your knees, bring the feet onto the ground. Hands can stay exactly where they are. Maybe your fingers are even touching your heels. And then inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky. And then your chest goes towards your chin and your chin away from your chest. Exhale, lowering down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lowering down. Last time, inhale, lift the hips up. Squeezing it up at the top. Exhale, coming back down. Wind relieving poses next. So straighten your left leg, bend your right knee into your right shoulder, hands wrapped around your right shin, squeezing it in. Try to get it away from your rib cage. And you can make some movement here with your toes and your ankle if you like. And, oh, my ankle's cracking here. And then to prepare for a supine twist, bring the right hand out to a T, and then the left hand helps the right leg go up and over for our twist. It's more important for the shoulders to be grounded than the foot to go all the way to touch the ground. And just surrender here. Inhale, coming back to center with both the legs. And now the left leg is bent and the right leg goes long. Hands can wrap around the left shin. Again, squeezing that left knee into the left shoulder. We're trying to get it away from the rib cage as far as you can, so you can feel that compression. You can make some movement here with your ankle and your toes, one direction and the other direction. And then to prepare for our supine twist, left hand out to a T. The right hand's going to help you go up and over. Left hand out to a T. Inhale, coming back to center. Come into a tight little ball. So wrap your hands around the shins and then chin towards your chest, your forehead towards your knees. Take the biggest inhale. And then exhale, Shavasana, hands to your side. Your knees can be bent. You have a couple different options. One could be fallen bridge, where your feet are out almost as wide as your mat, and then your knees come together. Or maybe you just have your knees coming straight up towards the ceiling, and that might be a little bit more comforting towards your back. Or your legs can be out long. Feet can flap open. And just focus in on your breath. Or maybe you want to repeat a mantra. Just says, I am at peace. As you inhale, you say, I am. As you exhale, at peace. can stay in Shavasana as long as it serves you. If you would like to be guided out, start wiggling your toes and your fingers. And then bring your chin towards your right shoulder and your left shoulder. Reach your hands overhead. Take a nice big inhale. Open mouth, exhale. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to breathe in calm. Exhale out any anxiety. And coming into a fetal position, bend your knees. And then bring your hand underneath your head and come to your left or your right side. And shower yourself with gratitude for showing up today, for taking care of yourself. And then using your other arm to come up to that easy seated pose. You could have your knees crossed at the ankles if you like. And then together, inhale the hands up. Bring the thumbs together, lowering them to your forehead to remind us of kind and loving thoughts. Lowering the thumbs to the mouth to remind us of kind and loving words. And lower the thumbs to the heart, that we always have love for each other and for ourselves. The light and the teacher and the student in me respects and honors the light and the teacher and student in all of you. Thank you so much for coming today. It's always so much fun to guide you. We seal the class with a bow and we say namaste. Thanks, you guys.